and happy Monday. My name is Naomi and I'm a first year PhD student, and welcome back to another vlog. That's kind of loud. I just got back in from class about an hour ago, and I made myself some lunch, and now I am preparing for a meeting that I have in about 15 minutes with a group for one of my classes. And so in this class, we have to come up with completely original ideas. We're given a tech solution, behavior change theory, and a health behavior. And they're randomly assigned, and we have to come up with 3 original ideas, and we have to present on them in a couple of days. So we spent this weekend brainstorming, and we're coming together to see what we've come up with. This has probably been the hardest thing that I've had to do thus far, simply because the behavior change we have is improving sleep. And there's so much work that's already been done on improving sleep. There's a lot of technology that exists in that regard. So we're really having to be creative, and I'm excited to see what my group members have come up with. I have a couple things that I'm going to throw out there, but it's not easy. It's not easy stuff, but that's that. And then that's my last academic commitment for the day. And then I'm going to hopefully hop on a FaceTime call with a couple of my friends just to catch up. But yeah, I'm so far having a good day. I hate that the sun isn't out. It was earlier and it was beautiful. I got to go out and go for a walk this morning, and I did my regular morning routine. Everything went off without a hitch. And then I got to school early, which was nice because I missed part of that morning rush as well. But yeah, I had been walking consistently for about a month and a half. So my challenge was I wanted to walk outside, and considering I live in a cold climate, a place with pretty harsh winters, I was like, I want to give myself a head start on the seasonal sadness that can come this time of year. So I'm going to be intentional about getting outside every day. But then I went overseas for the holidays, and it was summertime where I went, and so it was nice, and it was easy to get outside. But then I came back a couple weeks ago, and it has been significantly harder to get outside, and we've also had some snow and ice. And so today was the first day that I felt comfortable, that I had the energy and I had the drive to get out, and I felt so good. So I'm glad that I can hopefully start getting back into that. But overall, I am having a good day. I do feel pretty at ease in terms of my workload, in terms of what I have coming down the pipe this week. But there's always something to do in a PhD. There's always something to read or something to write. So I will probably get some more work done or reading done later after my FaceTime call, if I'm being honest, or I will commit to waking up a little bit earlier in the morning and doing some work, because Tuesdays I don't have any classes on Tuesdays or any academic commitments just yet. There could potentially be like a reading group or something. But regardless, happy Monday, and let's get into this last minute research before I get into this meeting so that I actually have something to contribute. So it is Tuesday, and I have been working all morning. I've been working particularly on transcript analysis for the focus groups that I've been holding with my advisor for his study on digital health storytelling in families with young children. And that's been pretty tedious, not gonna lie. I had started working on it a few weeks ago, and when we met last week, he was just giving me some pointers about how I could be a little bit more specific in the coding that I'm doing. So I'm definitely learning a lot about qualitative analysis during this process, and I'm about to start doing some reading, because remember how I said that I had read for most of the week? Well, it turns out I read chapters in the wrong book, so I need to go back and read what I was actually assigned. But yeah, in a couple hours, I'm going to meet up with one of my friends who is getting rid of some things in her apartment, and she is going to give me a crock pot, which I'm super excited about because I've wanted one, but it's nice to just be given one. So yeah, that's what I've been working on today, and I'm hoping that I can also make some progress towards the project that I have due tomorrow with my group. We're gonna have one last meeting in the morning, but I would like to flesh out my idea a little bit more, just so that I can go into our presentation with more confidence. And yeah, that's what I have going on right now. So let me get back to reading so that I can catch up, because I'm currently behind. So it's Wednesday, and to say that it's been a day already is such an understatement, because it's only 2:00, 2:30. I'm getting ready to go to my meeting with my advisor, and then I have class shortly after. And luckily class has been moved up an hour, so I don't have to worry about being out. It's late, but today we have a presentation, and I kind of wish we were starting at regular time, just so that I could go over my portion, because I tend to get a little anxious when it comes to that kind of thing. And I think that has rolled over into the anxiety that I already had about my weekly meeting with my advisor, because I always feel like there's something that I need to do more than I've already done. And most of the time the meeting turns out being just fine, and I'm on track, and like I'm doing fine, but the anxiety beforehand is just, it's a lot sometimes. But I'm trying to take deep breaths. I know I'll be okay. My group and I met earlier today, and we made some final changes, and so I'm feeling confident about what we're going to present, how we're going to present it. I think there's definitely room for improvement in our ideas, but I think we have at least 2 solid ideas out of the 3 that we were required to come up with. So I'm interested in hearing like feedback and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been up since 4 o'clock, and my day is just getting started. My day is just getting started because I'm headed to campus now. But yeah, it's also just like a testament to how you have to keep refining your systems in terms of like productivity. Like what worked for me yesterday or over the weekend isn't going to work for me today, and that's okay. And I have to like not be down on myself about that, because different times require different things. And so I'm trying to be more understanding with myself as well, while also, asking how I can refine this for this week. Like what can I do between this Wednesday and next Wednesday in order to make sure that I don't have the feeling that I'm having right now. So I'm looking forward to, like sitting down with my planner and my calendar and just making some realistic goals in terms of my workload for the upcoming week, because it's still early in the semester. And so I want to make sure that I am being very intentional about how I set myself up for success, because I do have more work on my plate. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm preparing for certain events, like conferences and such. Like I have to do a lot more writing. I have to do qualitative analysis. Like I'm doing a lot of things, and it requires me to be focused. It requires me to have just like systems in place that I can trust. So additionally, I started doing my friends and I came up with a 50 soft protocol. So if you've heard of 75 hard, we're doing 50 soft, so 50 days, and we made some goals that we want to reach every day. And so there's a Notion template that I've been using, and I'm trying my best. Like one of the goals I have today, or one of the goals we all have, is like the daily outdoor walk, which I've been able to do for the past couple days just fine. But on a day like today, I have to improvise. So my plan is to get off of my train stop a couple stops before and walk to campus, and that'll be the equivalent of a walk that I would have done around my neighborhood. And it's just nice to be able to plan to get a breather and to get some fresh air before I'm cooped up again indoors for the remainder of the afternoon. But things like that I feel like will also contribute to my productivity improving, and also gives me an opportunity to check in with my friends more. So that's also nice. But let me go ahead and finish getting ready so that I can catch this train, because Lord knows that the tea does what it wants to do. So let me not be late. It's drizzling a little bit and it's all over my glasses. But this is actually such a beautiful walk and I'm glad that I'm doing it. Friday. So I just got out of a meeting with one of my groups. So I have group projects in both of the classes that I'm in this semester. So today was the first meeting for my other class, and it'll be a qualitative analysis project that we're doing. So we were getting together to start thinking about what our protocol is going to look like, our interview guide, and what population we want to focus on, what technology we want to focus on. So I think we made some good progress with that. And the last time that I checked in was after my presentation on Wednesday. So that went fairly well. We had some really good feedback given to us and some ideas about moving forward as we get ready to prepare for the upcoming week. And so it was really nice to get it over with because I think we didn't really know what to expect. So kind of the point of the class is to be creative. And so there wasn't any like previous examples of what a presentation should look like or anything like that. We were just kind of put out there to figure it out, which I really liked. It was nice to see what the other groups came up with as well and how they kind of interpreted the process. But now we all have an idea of the expectations. And, you know, it's also nice to get feedback on your ideas because you can get so like stuck on your idea, especially with the group. Sometimes, you know, you're putting all of your energy into this one thing and not really knowing how other people are going to take it. And then when they tell you like, this probably maybe wouldn't work here, or this is really good, but this is what else you should be thinking about, that can be very helpful. So we have some good feedback to go off of. But yeah, I also had my meeting with my advisor on Wednesday, and I think I probably put a clip in it in the video earlier about it, but we just had a transparent conversation about how I was feeling about my performance, what's expected of me, and just like my own, you know, time management in terms of school and work, and also like just home life and self-care. So like work-life balance is something that you hear a lot when it comes to PhD studies, because this is your job and it's also your education. And some people also have like part-time jobs and other things like that. People have families to take care of. People are just coming from different circumstances and things. But I think something that I really just wanted to be mindful of is how I'm managing my time after class, before class. And this past weekend, I feel like I did a pretty good job. But as I stated before, I had read the wrong material. So I kind of felt bummed because I was like, I wasted my time. And it wasn't a waste of time because I did learn something. It's just not what I was assigned to learn, but it's fine. But with that being said, yesterday evening when I got home, I kind of took a look at my calendar and really honed in on the next 3 days, because having Fridays off is a blessing, but you can get into the habit of relaxing and chilling a little bit too much and having a 3-day weekend every week, and that's not what I want to do. So I think for me, knowing that Monday through Wednesday, Thursday morning is pretty much on go for me, it's very important for me to use my weekends wisely. And so after I go and get a walk in for the day because I need some fresh air, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start planning what I want my weekend to look like and how I want to divvy up the work that I have to do, especially now that I have this other group project. I want to be very, very mindful that time is of the essence, especially when other people are involved outside of the group itself. So we're tasked with interviewing people, and preferably in person. So we can't necessarily rely on, Zoom, unless mostly for a last resort in this case. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to be on top of things, not only just this week, but, for the rest of my program. And so I just want to get some good practice. I'm thinking about, you know what? I'll come back to that. First things first, though, I do want to get outside. It's not the nicest day, but it is about 3:30. And so I know I only have about an hour and a half of light left. So I should get out now. So I will be back, maybe, or maybe I'll come back tomorrow. It is Saturday morning, and I have mostly been multitasking this morning. I had some laundry that I wanted to get done, and I also wanted to meal prep a little bit to make this upcoming week a little easier. And I did get to read a couple of shorter articles that I was assigned, so I'm making progress in that regard. But I do need to get into the meat of some of my chapters, so that's what I'm going to be doing for the next few hours. I've also been thinking about workload. Like I said, I talked to my advisor earlier in the week, and I told him about how I'm trying to be intentional about my productivity and just like honoring a schedule for myself. And I thought a lot about like the difference between creation and consumption, especially now that I'm on this YouTube journey and exploring content creation. I just like applying that to my classes, and in every class you're expected to create to an extent and to consume, but these classes are very, like, there's a heavy emphasis on like original ideas and just like being as creative as possible and thinking very much outside the box. And I think sometimes many times it can be a lot harder to be the creator versus the consumer. And so when I think of consuming, for instance, is the chapters that we're assigned to read and things like that, like the other papers that we're assigned to read, as opposed to the group work that I'm doing, which in both cases, like for instance, this weekend I have to think about questions for an interview guide for a topic, and I have to brush up on the ideas that we presented this past Wednesday. So, things that aren't impossible by any means, but they also just require a little bit more brain power than just sitting down, reading, and taking notes. So anyway, I bring that up because it helps with my scheduling, as I'm trying to also honor what space I feel like my brain and my body are in at different times of the day. And so I find that it's a lot easier for me, and I'm a lot more motivated to consume content earlier in the day. So like upon waking up, like I like, being an early riser and things like that. So like I'm going to be reading for the rest of the afternoon, but I know later this evening, I probably am going to be more interested in the creation part. So that's what I'm going to brush up on, this past week's idea work that we've been doing, kind of send some stuff to my other group members and see how they feel about it. But it's just so interesting because, sometimes you just have to power through whatever it is you need to do, but I'm also trying to get to a space where I'm being intentional, like I keep saying, about how I structure my days, what I do on certain days, making sure that I'm making time for everything that I want to do, for work, for play, for school, for all of that. So without further ado, I'm going to try to knock out these 2 chapters, and then we'll see how the rest of my afternoon goes.
The Internet of Things. So what is this Internet of Things, and why should you?
So it is Sunday afternoon. It's going to about 4 o'clock. And as you saw, I would have been working on my Google Calendar for the upcoming week because I want to make sure that I am on top of everything. It is a guide because, of course, life happens and you never know if you'll be able to do everything that you schedule. Like, it would be nice, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. But it does make me feel better, and it does help me to have some sort of vision, some sort of idea of how my week is going to go, especially in a busy week like this. Every week doesn't look like this for me, but this is just one of the ones where I have a lot going on. So, yeah, I've been on Teams all afternoon with both of my groups. It seems like everybody's using this time the same way, but I feel like I've made good progress with both groups, and we will be okay. I think we'll be okay this week going forward. We don't have a choice. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end this vlog here. I also just got the licensing agreement for Final Cut Pro, so I can finally start putting all of this content together. So whenever you see this video, just know that it took some time. It took some time for me to get it together on top of all the other stuff that I have to do, but I really am invested in documenting this PhD journey. And so with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.